Hello.
Oh, hello, everyone. What up, what up, what up? I'm very excited to record this episode.
Yeah, this is a goodie. Welcome to Two Black Girls, One Rose.
Where two black-ass girls invade the whitest show on earth.
The Bachelorette.
I'm Natasha.
And I'm Justine.
And we just watched the men tell all and a little bit of we got the ending of last week's.
Oh, yeah.
So we got a little teaser of what's to come. And I was watching the episode at work today because that's what I be doing.
Priorities.
Doing the work. Priorities, And I had my door closed, and I just, same thing, so many visceral reactions, like I've had in previous episodes, like, so many visceral reactions, like, just writing down so many notes. I just have a lot to say. It's a lot of content. It's a lot to talk about.
Yeah. I feel like they really squeezed out the good stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I think so. I'm proud of Chris Harrison this episode, actually. I feel like we can always get more out of him. I know, for real. We can always get more out of him, but he has some good questions that I feel like needed to be pressed, so I appreciate that out of him for a men tell all. But yeah, tell me, what were your initial thoughts?
So we talk a lot about trigger warnings on this show. And we talk a lot about how they don't do them on The Bachelor, even when they're necessary. But Hannah B really gave us the closure that we needed.
Yes.
I haven't been as proud of a Bachelorette or seen the growth of this sort of Bachelorette since Rachel.
Yep, absolutely.
Granted, the only one in between there was Becca. However, I just haven't seen anybody, especially somebody this young, mature to this level on TV and come from an environment that is so sheltered. Alabama, shout out to all of our Alabama listeners. Hey guys. But you guys are number 49 out of 50 as far as education rates goes. And, and none of you eat vegetables. It's a thing.
None of you eat vegetables? Damn.
Between you and Mississippi, ain't no vegetables.
Oh, Lord.
And no teaching.
A flood of emails now. I eat my vegetables. Shut up, Justine.
I hope you are. I hope you are eating your greens, but that is the reputation that you guys come from, and it's naturally the environment that you're surrounded by. And for her to come from that sort of environment and to get on TV and say, I'm really sorry that you guys had to watch him, even though it was his fault, was just, I just loved every single minute of it. And also, this was a trigger warning because I have been to that rodeo where somebody has come back into your life and stepped over the boundary that you worked so hard to put up and attempted to knock it down. And it is one of the most disrespectful things ever. Ever, especially when you're dealing with somebody romantically.
Which is the antithesis of love. Because someone who loves you is trying to build you up, not tear you down and belittle you in the process.
Right. And respect you. So if you say you don't want to do something, they just abide by that. And really happy that she got on to the couch and talked about slut-shaming.
Yes, named it.
Yeah, and named it as slut-shaming. Really happy that she was just so honest in a really eloquent way. And I was so proud of watching this girl. Really proud of it. And that was all my initial and Mike for Bachelor, obviously. But those are my initial thoughts. I have a lot more feelings that I'm going to save for the finale because I think they're finale appropriate. So get ready for me to get on a soapbox next week.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. What about you?
I like that you said eloquent because that's a word that we would not have initially used
Never.
with Hannah B at all. But that is the word that I would absolutely use for how she kind of closed out this whole season, and definitely how she conducted herself on the couch last night.
Yep.
Hannah B might be one of my favorite bachelorettes of all time.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
She's up there.
Whoa.
I mean, Rachel, of course, takes the cake.
Oh, yeah, number one.
But Hannah, her handling of the Luke P situation in the end, so not the whole treacherous process that she put us through. Like that, we need to talk to her about that. But her rightful annihilation of his entire being she did this multiple times during their initial breakup, during their second breakup, during his crashing of the rose ceremony, and then again on the Men Tell All,
which is like, a crisp 3 months after that second breakup.
3 months after, she had all the time to put her words together, and she came correct.
Yes, she did.
Like, she truly, as you said, she really evolved in my eyes from this whack-ass, one-dimensional, roll-tide, can't put words together pageant queen that they kind of edited or showed her to be from Colton's season, to this, confident, I will read you to filth. Yeah. Very complex Christian feminist, formed human being. Yes. And I just loved it. Yeah. It's like she's literally night and day from who we saw her on Colton's season, and even who they kind of painted in the beginning of the season, where she's awkward, she's real. To by the end, we really did have this fully formed woman that we just kind of watched evolve over the last couple episodes through this treacherous, toxic relationship that we were subjected to watch. But it really came out in her favor because it really allowed her to evolve and do this whole process in front of America on television. Yeah. And I just, the whole thing, loved it. And I just love, as I said, complex Christian feminists, which I think is really interesting because as we see, there's a lot of tension between her view of being a Christian versus Luke P's view of being a Christian, which is a very traditional, men over women type of Christianity, backward shit that he, is promoting. Proprieting? I don't even know. Yeah. Who is, that's the pedestal that he stands on. Yeah. Yeah. Which is a very backward view of Christianity. And she's kind of this new age, modern 2019 hashtag Me Too Christian feminist. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's very complex. There's a lot of layers there. It is. But I just loved I loved it all. Loved it.
But to me, it seems like Hannah's ideals are simpler and Luke's ideals are very complicated because he hasn't thought them all through yet.
No, absolutely not. And you can tell there's not ideas that he has come to in his head. It's ideas that he's been someone has preached to him in Bible study. Right. Or, have brought up some random verse or some shit and have manipulated it to mean XYZ. But he has never actually questioned or come up with his own opinion on what he actually wants as a woman or what he believes a Christian person is supposed to be. It's all things that are just it's sound bites. He to me is Fox News sound bites. Exactly what they do. They just say things that they've heard over and over and over, but they don't even actually know or believe what the fuck they're saying.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I like how, as I said in the beginning, they were just kind of she's awkward, she's real, really pushing this motif on us that in the beginning, me and you were just not buying it. We're I don't buy it. Yeah. I don't like that they're forcing this on us. But I just like how over the course of the season, and then definitely all came to a head this last episode, we've been able to see that through all her trials and tribulations, everything she's been put through, we've gotten to see that yes, she's a little bit awkward at times. Yeah. And yes, she is real. They didn't have to just say it to us. We actually got to see it. And now that I've seen it, I buy it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Right. Oh my God. And we are 2 episodes away from the finale. Jesus Christ.
Almost at the end. And I'm okay, got it. I also, as you mentioned, I like how, and of course we'll dig into it later into the recap, how she explicitly said that her experience with Luke P is what a lot of women go through.
Loved it.
And how the whole experience for her, while treacherous, was worth it to her if just for the mere fact that women can now watch it and hopefully learn from it. And that's what you and I have been saying on this podcast. Like, this whole thing fucking sucks, but at least I hope young women are watching this and can learn from it. And so it was so great to hear her on stage literally say those words, like, out loud. And acknowledge that what she went through was some bullshit. But you know what? A lot of women do go through this. Yeah. And so I want to use myself as an example. And she, like, I appreciate that she had a stance and she made an example of herself, essentially. Yeah. Which was probably not her, that was not her intention to, but.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. And I think also, sorry, I have a lot of thoughts.
It's fine. Yeah.
Also, how she's just, like, never apologized for her sexuality. She's been very bold and brazen, like, literally said, I fucked in a windmill, like, very brazen about it, knowing that there's probably a lot of people back home and people in her Christian community who, just like Luke, would judge her for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I like that she just always kind of stood by that stance and, like, stood by her brazenness and just made an example of herself. And I think being the lead, so being the Bachelor, being the Bachelorette, you have to understand that all of this is bigger than you. Like, this is a huge platform that you have. And I think that she demonstrated an understanding of that and, like, rode with that very much in a similar way to how Rachel conducted herself as Bachelorette and conducted herself as the first and only Bachelorette of color.
Yeah.
And so that's what we really loved about Rachel and what made us proud about Rachel. And also in the same way how Becca disappointed us. Yeah. Because Becca downplayed her platform as the Bachelorette to save ass with Garrett, talking about, oh, the IG doesn't matter, like, you know, we ain't nobody, and, like, purposely and conveniently downplayed their platform as, you know, the lead and the winner of the show. Yeah. And I like that you have to acknowledge that this is bigger than you. Yeah. Like, all of this is bigger than you. Right. The issues that come up in this show are bigger than just this fairy tale love story. Like, Becca's season with Garrett brought up a lot of political. Our whole podcast was so political that season. Yeah. Not because we wanted it to be, but because of the shit that was happening on the show and off the show. And so I just like that Hannah, as you said, as young as she is, she understands, like, the platform that she has. She's very explicitly vocalizing those things on stage. And yeah, it's just very proud to watch. And for someone so young, and we've been clowning her for her youngness, I'm happy to see that she has come full circle and has matured right before our eyes. Yeah. And yeah, made me very proud. And agreed. I stand by it. Definitely one of my favorite Bachelorettes of all time.
Wow. So. Yeah, because she's also someone who understands that this is a blip in time, which is, I think, why she is so brazen. You know,
she knows people gonna get over this in no time.
Right.
Everybody care about who she fucking.
Right.
We care right now because she's relevant and this is, like, the hot episode or the hot season or whatever. But ain't nobody give a shit in 2 days what the hell she was fucking. So. But yeah, she made a fan out of me, definitely by the end of last night's episode, and I'm excited to see how the finale is gonna play out. Because it's gonna be some shit with Jed. I just know it.
Oh my!
I just know it.
God, yes.
In the finale on the couch, I just know so much shit has come out about him that there's no way that they're not going to address it.
Oh yeah.
And even Chris Harrison's little ominous, like, thing at the end. Did you hear him? And he was like, well, you know, there's, you know, sit tight. We're gonna address a lot of things next episode. Yeah. So they probably gonna bring out homegirl, the ex-girlfriend, or it's gonna be messy. And I feel like Hannah, if she's still on the stride of making us proud, she'll probably come right on stage and keep reading people to filth, and I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, I hope so. I also hope, because I feel like families are there for the finale episode. I hope her family and the lead. Shady mama's there.
Yes, they're the tag team with Hannah and read his ass.
Yes, and be like, girl, I tried to tell you.
I tried to tell you. Did you hear my toast? Did you? Okay, you missed that one, but I was telling you. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait either. Hey guys, that's a little taste of this week's episode. If you want to hear the full recap,
head on over to patreon.com/2blackgirls1rose and sign up to get weekly recaps and other Bachelor content from us.
See you next week.